We're going to look at more applications from 3.3 and 3.4. So number one, give the dimensions of a rectangle that are similar to rectangle A. So if this is rectangle A, we'll label these dimensions as 3 across. So this is 3 by 4. So what's another rectangle that's similar to 3 by 4? So what you can do is you can multiply the 3 and the 4 by any of the same number, for each of the same number, and that would be your scale factor. So maybe let's multiply it by 2. So that's going to be 6 by 8. Or you can multiply 3 by 4 times 3. So that's going to be 9 by 12. You can multiply 3 by 4 times 4. So that's going to be 12 by 16. So any of these could be different answers as long as you're multiplying the 3 and the 4 by the same number. So you can multiply a decimal by a fraction as long as it's the same number. So what is the scale factor from A to B? So if I chose B was 6 by 8, what's the scale factor to go from here to here? So remember, I'm going to take my second one, which is 8. My second figure is 6 by 8 and divide it by 3 by 4. So it doesn't matter if I take the 8 and divide it by 4 or the 6 and divide it by 3, I'm still going to get 2. What's the scale factor from A to D? So this is my D over here. So I'm going to take 16 and divide it by 4. So my scale factor from A to D is 4. So you could have different answers depending on what you did for your A, B, for your B, C, and D. 2, sketch a triangle that has an area that's a fourth of the area. So remember we looked at if we knew the area was 1/4, then the side length has to be 1/2. Okay, so you're taking each of these dimensions and you're taking it in half. So if I look at the base of this triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm going to take half of it, so I'm going to make a triangle that goes only 4 across. And I'm noticing right here I'm going up 4 and right 2. So instead, I'm going to go up 2 and right 1. I'm going to start over because I got sloppy. So I know it's 4 across. So I'm going to go up 2 and right 1. And then now I can connect it to make the same triangle. And you can kind of see that this triangle is 1/4. There's 4 of these triangles could fit in that blue area. Each of the dimensions is half. So if you have something that's going at a diagonal, take half of what you're going up and take half of what you're going across to make your new point. So I went up 4, right 2, so then I went up 2, right 1. Sketch a triangle that has a perimeter that's half of the perimeter below. So remember with perimeter, the scale factor is the same. So I'm going to take a triangle that's half the height and half the width. So if my height right now is 3, I'm going to make a triangle that goes up 1.5 and goes across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so goes across 4. So I took half of each dimension. Okay, number 4, sketch a parallelogram that has 4 times the area of this parallelogram below. So if the area is 4 times as much, that means that the scale factor is 2 squared, or 2, because 2 squared is 4. So that means I have to take each of these dimensions and multiply them by 2. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This might fall off. So I'm going up 3, right 1. So now I'm going to go, instead of going up 3, right 1, I'm going to go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and right 2 to make my new parallelogram. Same thing over here, I'm going to go up 6 and right 2, so I'm a little bit off. But you can see that I could actually copy this blue parallelogram and put it in here 4 times. Remember, that's called a hex tile, or a reptile. So a reptile is if you can take the same figure and make another figure that's similar with it. So each of these are the same as here, and this shape is similar to the larger one. Okay, 5, using the similar triangles below. So these 2 triangles are similar. What is the measure of angle B? So angle B over here, it corresponds with this angle over here. So angle B has to also be 45 degrees. Because similar figures and similar triangles have corresponding angles that are congruent. B, what is the scale factor of the larger figure to the smaller figure? So you're going large to small, so it's getting smaller. So that means my answer has to be less than 1. So I take a side that both of them have numbers for to figure out the scale factor. So I need to go from the smaller figure divided by the larger figure. So 12 divided by 18, and that reduces to, I can divide both of them by 6, so it reduces to 2 over 3. What is the length of side ED? So I'm trying to figure out this length. So I know the scale factor is 2/3. So this side corresponds over here, so I can multiply 9 times 2/3. So I can do 9 divided by 1 times 2 over 3. And with fractions, I multiply straight across, so I get 18 over 3, which is 6. So ED is 6. What's the length of side AC? So I'm going AC is, now I need to go from here to here, it's getting bigger. So the scale factor is actually going to be the reciprocal of 2/3 if I go from small to large. So the scale factor is going to be 3 over 2 because that's the reciprocal of 2 over 3. So I do 3 over 2 times this corresponding side, which is 4. So 3 over 2 times 4 over 1 is 12 over 2, which is 6. You can also use scale factors to find distances on a map. So looking at here, I have this distance is equal to 200 miles. So estimate the distances between Johannesburg and East London. So Johannesburg and East London is this long. So you're trying to figure out how many of these, if you don't have a ruler, fit into here. I would say it's estimating wise, there's 2 of these distances in here. So 2 times 200 is 400 miles. Okay, similarly, Port Elizabeth to East London. So this is less than 200. It looks to be about 150 miles. If you have a ruler, on paper, you can be much more precise. Cape Town to Port Elizabeth. So Cape Town to Port Elizabeth, how many of these can fit over here? So it looks like 1, maybe 2. So again, approximately 400. This distance looks the same as this distance right here. Okay, next one, the two right triangles are similar. So this triangle, the red triangle, is similar to this triangle. Find the length of RS. So we don't know what this one is. So first I can find the scale factor. So to go from red to green, it's an enlargement. So to figure out the scale factor, I do green divided by red, which is 2. So the scale factor is 2 to go from red to green. That means I have to take the corresponding side and multiply it by 2. So this is going to be 6 meters. Now find RQ. So we know the scale factor is 2, so multiply 5 times 2 and you get 10 meters. C, suppose the measure of angle X is 40 degrees. Find the measure of angle Y. So this symbol right here means it's a right angle. This symbol means that this makes a 90-degree angle. So if this angle is 40, and these two have to add up to 90, then Y has to be 50 degrees. Because 40 plus 50 adds up to 90.